Hey guys, my name is Matimio, and recently I have been playing a fair amount of Domination in Black Ops 2. It's easily one of my favorite game modes, but it can also be extremely frustrating. Trying to capture the B or middle domination flag is extremely challenging, especially since people die very quickly in this game. SMGs are, blazing fast. You also have people just spamming grenades all over that objective, and it can be very challenging and infuriating to get those capture points and help your team win. So I've created a class that basically revolves around the assault shield and some other little gadgets that has taken away a lot of the pain in getting those objectives. And after I've started to use this tactic, I've won around 90% of my domination games, and I also see the enemy team deploy it as well. It was kind of funny to see how many people were starting to use the assault shields after I was using and winning these games, back to back to back. So as I mentioned, this particular loadout revolves around the assault shield, and if you're not aware, the assault shield is actually a primary weapon. So if you do want to use another primary, of course you're going to have to use the overkill wildcard perk. I did opt to go down this route, so I was using the submachine guns more often than not. Really, it's going to be up to you what other second primary you want to employ for this particular setup. I was mainly going with the submachine guns because you're really going to be up in the fray, and having that high rate of fire I found to be very useful. But if you do want to play a little bit more passively, because of course you're not always going to be on the objective and you want to kind of snipe people from across the map, then the assault rifles may be a better choice for you. But like I said, I was getting more use out of the submachine guns. As for your perks, the first slot is pretty much always going to have to be Flak Jacket. Flak Jacket is going to reduce the explosive damage on you, and since people are going to be spamming the objectives constantly with grenades, if you do not have this particular perk, you're not really going to last that long or even be all that effective. So I would always use that for that first slot. As for the second one, it's going to be kind of up to you. You can use toughness if you want to be a little bit more accurate when you're aiming down sight, or you can use fast hands. Fast hands is going to make it so that you switch between your primaries faster and also deploy your equipment faster as well. So though it's really going to be up to you what you want to use for that second slot. And as for the third one, Tactical Mask is basically a must. If you're not aware of what this is, it basically reduces the effectiveness of concussive grenades, flash grenades, anything that's going to stun you. It's going to reduce the effectiveness, and since people are going to be spamming that on the objective as well, you do not want to be blinded or concussed, because it's going to make your job very difficult. As for the lethal slot, it's really going to be up to you which one you want to use. I was mainly sticking with C4 because if a lot of people are on the objective, I can use the fast hands perk to deploy that very quickly and detonate it behind the safety of my riot shield. So if you do like that, I would go down that route. As for the tactical slot, this is also where you get a couple of options. At first, I was mainly using the trophy system, which is going to take out grenades and stuff like that out of the sky and allow your teammates to actually get onto the objective and help you cap it faster. I think it's pretty useful, but the other option that you have is using the concussive grenades, and which works very well with fast hands. And one of the problems I found with using the trophy system is that you don't have any way of keeping the enemy away from the objective once you're actually on it, because you're going to be hiding behind your shield, and having the concussive grenades will stop them in their tracks and also allow you to go ram them and kill them potentially with your riot shield. But yeah, that's basically the template that I was using for this particular loadout. Granted, you can switch things in and out depending on how you want to attack certain situations, or just depending on your personal preference, but really you're going to want to remember that you're always going to want to use Flak Jacket, Tactical Mask, and of course the assault shield. So when I do use this loadout, my main thought process is to get onto the objectives as quickly as possible. So when I do start a match, I will go as quickly towards the B domination point and plant myself on it. I'll have my riot shield out in front, blocking any incoming fire. I won't deploy it down. I know a lot of people do like to use the deploy option for this weapon, but I don't find it to be all that useful. It does allow you to head glitch a little bit, but you're going to need to be a little bit mobile because people are going to be hitting you from different directions, and if you aren't able to kind of adjust on the fly, you're going to get killed, and you're really not going to be all that useful to your team. So I will get onto the capture point, kind of survey the area, make sure that all enemies are accounted for and block all incoming fire. And usually they're going to try to do everything they can to take you out. They'll throw grenades at you. You might need to dodge a couple of the sticky grenades and make sure that they don't land on your shield because that will kill you. But you know, kind of dodge those grenades and watch out for you know, people trying to flank you, and really just allow your allies to pick people off. You will get a couple of assists, riot shield assist or something like that, when they shoot at you and your allies kill that target. So that is nice, but really your main objective is to stay on that capture point and of course capture it. One thing you can do is, if you are using the concussive grenades and someone is trying to push up on the objective with you, is to throw those out, which of course makes it a lot easier if you are using fast hands, because if they get onto the capture point, it's going to make it not really impossible for you to take that point, but it can make things quite complicated because they're probably going to try to flank behind you, which is going to leave you exposed from their main spawn, and someone is usually going to shoot you in the back, or that person is just going to take you out themselves. So when you do use the concussive grenades, it's going to stop them in your tracks. You can either just wait and hold off on the point to capture it first, or you can run over and kind of shield slam them twice to get the kill. That's always fun when you're able to pull those off. I don't get them off that often, but that is one particular tactic that you can deploy. As for the trophy system, I was usually just throwing that a couple of feet around the corner or near the objective. You don't really want to have that in the open because it is so large and people can just kind of shoot that out. So if you do throw that out there, just kind of put it in a place where it's not going to be shot down right away, and it's going to let your team kind of push up on the objective with you and take it even faster because they don't have to be worried about incoming your needs. But really, that's the tactic. It's very simple. It doesn't require a whole lot of thought process, but it is extremely effective. And as I mentioned before, it was allowing me to win almost 90% of the games that I was joining into. And you're probably going to see, once you use this for a couple of rounds in the same lobby, you're going to see the enemy team use it themselves because it really is that effective. Granted, I think that the players that I was against really didn't have a handle on it because they just, you know, were trying it for the first time. But I have a feeling that this is going to be a very useful tactic, and we're going to see it a lot more in domination games. But yeah, guys, that's basically my super secret loadout that I used to capture all the domination points. I hope you guys found this video useful. If you guys enjoyed today's video or just want to support my channel, I always appreciate it when you give my videos a rating, and if you haven't already, subscribe for more. But until next time, guys, have a good one and take it easy.